Authors Tell All, a podcast by Shy Soul. She's bringing you author interviews, book discussions, and more. Stay tuned.
Hey everyone, so I'm here to discuss my book, Her Drug Lord Turned Her Savage. And let's just get right into it. So, my book, Her Drug Lord Turned Her Savage, is about Lotus and Dimitri. You know, they're married, going through their struggles. And trying to figure out how they're supposed to go through in life, how they're supposed to live, the black relationship. So Lotus is a very dynamic character. I came up with her to be a very ambitious character. She does things on her own. She doesn't like to be told what to do. She just wants her man and wants to be in love. She wants her man to love her, and that's about it. Dimitri, he is the businessman. He has his own business. He has two businesses, actually. So, there's that. So, he is the businessman that is wrapped up in what he does. So, he's more into his business than he is his wife. He's more about making his money and trying to build a brand than to rebuild his relationship with his wife. So, they have those marital problems, which will soon conflict when his business is in trouble and he needs her to help him bring his business back up. So, that's basically what it's about. But, and I say but very lightly because it's going to be someone who's going to come into their relationship and mess up something that was already not as locked on as it should have been. So I'm not going to name that character because if you haven't read it, then I'm not going to spoil that for you. So that's one part. And you have so many characters in the story that brings it together, but basically the story is about Lotus and Dimitri. In the beginning, there is a very emotional scene when you find out what happened to Lotus and what made her go in such a different route in her life. In the book, I tell that she was going to be one thing, but then the character takes control of her own life within the book, and it changes. So, in the beginning, she's young, You know, she's in love. I'm not going to name who his name is because I don't want to ruin anything about the book. So if you haven't read that part, you really need to, because that's emotional. And it really have you pulled in from the moment you read that first chapter. And the way I wrote that to be emotional and for you to see that side of her. Okay. So someone asked me what inspired me to write this book. So what inspired me to write this book is I wanted to create a character that was going to show a soft side, you know, who wants to be loved like any other black woman would want to be loved in her relationship. So I wanted to show this side of black romance, but give it edge. I wanted to write a story that was loving, sad, and then had the suspense to it. I always wanted to write a story like this that had just besides the cheating part, I just wanted to write a story that would inspire someone or help someone with a relationship like that. But what inspired me to write this book was from me watching Tyler Perry movies. That is what really inspired me to write this type of book. Of course, Tyler Perry does not, he doesn't do storylines, well, slightly, but he doesn't do movies like what my book entails a little bit. But his movie, Diary of a Mad Black Woman, is what inspired my book. Lotus and the character from Diary of a Mad Black Woman, they both go through their trials in their marriage. And the man, of course, is all about their business and doesn't really have time for the wife and, doesn't really know how to love the wife anymore. And they do some bad things in their marriage and does bad things to the wife. So that's what ultimately inspired me to write this book, was that movie. I wanted to write something that can give my readers a connection, give them a connection to each character, because you have the protagonist character, you have the antagonist, but I also wanted to make a character that was like both, that had, you like him or you like her, but you hate them at the same time. But it's just that character that if they die in the book, you're like, well, I didn't want that character to die. I wanted to see what was going to happen with that character. So that's ultimately what inspired me to write Her Drug Lord Turned Her Savage, A Queen Pen Killed and Conquered. Now, the subtitle to the book is She's a Black Woman is a Queen, And Lotus is that. She just doesn't know it yet. So, for her to conquer her life back, she has to go through so many situations for her to get her throne, basically. So yeah, of course, in the book, somebody's gonna die. Secrets are going to be spilled. She's gonna find out things she didn't want to find out. And in this book, since this is the first book, second book, I'm still working on it, so you guys know it's gonna be a second book. Obviously, I gave you that twistful ending, and then the to be continued. But with Lotus, I want her to, for sure, in the next book, really show the queen pen that she's going to become. Because, I told you guys that at the end I gave that little snippet. And it's obviously in my subtitle. But I want to show the ruthless queen pen that you guys didn't get the chance to see. You got the bits and pieces, but I didn't give you the full, the full story of how she is going to become a queen pen. Okay, you saw her boss, who's the queen pen of New Jersey, and you've seen the little tidbits that I gave on her. Now, that character was a character that I pulled that character out from somewhere different. I don't usually really write characters such as her, such as her former boss. You know, I pulled her out of a part of my mind that where I usually don't pull characters from. You know, she's the ruthless character, but in book 2, I would explain how ruthless her boss really was. You know, I gave that insight in the beginning, how she did Lotus and how she created Lotus, who she was, but that wasn't the case. She thought she did, but she didn't. Okay, so Minkel is the queen pin. Okay, you got that little insight. But who is she really? You know, the secret starts spilling out, and Lotus already knew who she was. That's why she came to her in the beginning of the book to, you know, ultimately get revenge. That's why my tagline in my synopsis is: a scorned woman wants revenge. Strong woman moves on, but a queen does it all. The reason I wrote that specific quote into my description, and that's ultimately the whole tagline of the book, is because a woman forgives a lot of things. You know, she forgives the lies, she forgives the cheating, she forgives all that. But what does a queen do? Do you really think a queen is going to let someone walk all over her and she's just going to sit there and just take it? Not at all. She's going to get revenge. She's not going to move on. She's never going to forget what you did. She's going to, it's like basically she's a ghost. She's basically going to haunt you with that until she's going to kill you. That's why I put that tagline in the beginning of the book, to show that my main character, she's going to be a total savage. That's what I put in the end of my title. Who is the drug lord that's gonna turn her savage, you know? But I thought her husband, you know, you don't know if it's the husband that turned her savage. You don't know if, I'm not gonna say too much, but you don't know if it's the husband that turned her savage, or is it someone else? Or is it someone from her past? You don't know until you fully read the book, and then you get the whole depth of Lotus. Okay, so there's plenty other characters in the book, of course, and there's another character that I want to bring up. Her name is Riva. Okay, she's the character that I already know every woman is going to hate. I already know every woman is going to hate her. And I wanted that because it's women like her that ruin great relationships. So I wanted to make absolutely sure that I made Riva the most hated character in her Drug Lord Turned Her Savage. Because Riva is she's just the wicked witch of every married or in a relationship woman's dreams, okay? She's going to step in and act as if that man doesn't have a wife, doesn't have a girlfriend. She doesn't care. That's her whole mentality. She's sneaky, she's conniving, she's dirty, she's all of the above. And I wanted to put her in there to show just how the different type of woman can be. She doesn't want a relationship. She wants money. She either wants money, she either wants power, or either she wants what that woman had. And that's definitely what Riva's character is. Okay. Then you have, I'm going to take a pause for a minute, you guys. Okay, guys, back to me discussing this story. Okay, so where was I? Okay, I was talking about this heifer Reva. That's exactly what she is. She's terrible. You know, I can't stand a woman who doesn't want their own man. She wants somebody else's man, and that's exactly who Reva is. So you have Reva. There's not too much I want to tell you about her because I want people, again, who haven't read the book, I want you to see for yourself exactly how conniving and dirty she is. That's exactly what she is. So then we have Angelique. Don't think that by her name that she's all sweet and, you know, the loving character, the supporting friend to Lotus. She perceives to be that way, but deep down inside she's not. She tells you straight on that she's a hoe, that she doesn't want a man. She just wants to have sex. She wants to express her sexuality, and that's all. Okay, so you will see in the book that she is a supporting character, and she is going to be the character that basically starts a lot of mess. You won't realize it, but she's the one that starts a lot of mess in the story. Okay, deep down, that character, Angelique, she knows a lot that Lotus doesn't. She's basically, I don't want to say she's playing Lotus, but she just has her own motives to what she's doing and why she's doing it. So you'll see exactly the type of woman Angelique is too. Okay, then we have Kincaid. Oh, I just loved writing Kincaid. Kincaid is the sexy character. He isn't the character that just comes in and just swoops somebody off their feet and, you know, just says, oh, I want you to be my woman and this and that. No, Kincaid is not that character at all. Kincaid is the character that is going to state facts. He's going to hurt your feelings. He's going to give it to you where it hurts and just tell you like it is. Like, listen, you've been this, and that way, and this is not your character. This is not who you are. And I'm not going to be with a woman who can't see who she truly is. So he's that character. He's not the cleanup crew. He's not that at all. He's just not going to see that she's down and out and her man is doing her wrong, and he's just going to come in and just save her, sweep off her feet, and put her in his house and do... No. Kincaid is not that. He is not that. He that character that he's just going to sit there laid back, drinking his drink, smoking his smokes, and just going to be looking like, for real? He's that stone cold character. He just has... I made sure to describe him to have that look and that demeanor. He means what he means and he says what he says, basically. So, he has that loving heart because he knows the truth, but he just wants the woman to see the truth first before he comes out and says how he feels. That's who Kincaid is. Now, we have all the other supportive characters in the story. I'm not going to really talk about them too much because those are like the important parts in the book, you know, and the surprises in the book that really adds on to it. So I'm not going to too much touch up on them. I just really want to touch up on the main characters. Oh, the character I really didn't touch upon was Dimitri. Now, Dimitri, like I said a few minutes ago, he is the husband, the business owner. He owns Black Roses. That's his company. That's his business. But then he has his strip club. Okay. How can a woman accept her man owning a business like that? That's what Lotus had to accept. He's not a drug dealer. He's not in the streets. He's actually owning his own business and making his money the right way. Now, I'm not going to say there's twists and turns that is going to ultimately change him. I'm not going to give that up, but it's going to be some twists and turns. It's going to just flip him upside down, and she's going to see the real Dimitri. She's going to see exactly who he truly is. Okay? So, he's the tall, dark, and handsome with dreads and nice teeth and a nice build. That's who Dimitri is. He's the suave character. He's like, almost like, I don't want to compare him to Ghost from Power, but when you see Ghost in Power with the suit on and, you know, he's walking through and he's just that man, I'm going to say that's how Dimitri is. That's exactly how Dimitri is. He walks in and he just owns the building. Okay? But inside, he's broken too as well. So how can two broken people be in a relationship and so-called be happy? It's not a good mix. It doesn't work. So that's that part of the story. You know, Dimitri at first, when I was reading and then working over his character and editing his character, and then ultimately when I came up with the right character for him, at first I loved him. I was like, do I really want to make him the character that breaks Lotus's heart, or do I just want to make him just that loving character and make her the one that breaks his heart? But when I just, in my mind, when I was just writing the book and how he was just doing dumb stuff, you know, your characters, you write out a whole notebook worth of notes on how you want your book and how you want your characters, and you think you're going to stick to that? Not at all. He was going to be that character, but then he turned into his own evil character, evil with inside. He's the good and the bad. So that's who Dimitri is. Now, the setting of the story is in Harlem, and it's in Brooklyn, New York. I picked those two because, one, I love New York. You know, it has that dynamic tales to it that you can do. You know, you have the characters that come up from projects or whatever, and that's what some of my characters are. So they come up from that, and, you know, they make it on their own. Then you have the other character who is living a nice life, you know, but they still have their bad qualities to them. So their environment is, my characters, their environment is not what made them what they are in my book. It was themselves. So it was that part of it too. So I wanted to read a part of the book in my book discussion, but I was like, no, because I don't want to ruin some good stuff for my readers. So what I want to do is, I want to just go over my favorite part in my book. My favorite part is when Lotus finally realizes the person she really is. When she finally just lets everyone know that she's not going to be the woman that gets ran over and talked down to, and just everyone thinks she's soft and she's dumb. I just want to make sure that she was not that character, that she was going to prove everyone wrong. Now, for book 2, she still has a lot of proving to do. Even though she thinks she doesn't, but she does. The reason I ended the book with that crazy ending, that crazy explosive ending, was because I wanted her to break out. Okay? I wanted her to break out of the shell that Dimitri had ultimately put her in, and her past situation. That's what book 1 is about, her breaking free. Now, in book 2, is she really going to be broken free? Is she really over the situation with Dimitri? Is she really going to move on and actually forgive? No. I made that clear in my quote. She's never going to forgive. The demon on her shoulder is going to be eating at her through the whole book 2. It's going to be twisted. Now, I know readers love to have a happy ending, but with Lotus, it has to be built up. That's the kind of character she is. Like, does she truly want a happy ending? Does she truly want to be with, I'm not going to say his name, but does she truly want to be with him to have that happy ending? Does she want to actually get over her past? To, actually fall in love like she's supposed to? She says she's in love, but is she really? Is she really over what the people did to her? Maybe, maybe not. So you guys will definitely find that out in book 2 when I finish it and it's published, because this series, I really wanted it to be different for me. I really want to go push myself and go out of the box with this series. I want her to be that stunning character that in a scene she's walking through the club, and it's like when you're reading the book, you can almost hear the music that is playing. That's how I want you to feel when she's in her point of view, when she's speaking her piece and within her chapter. With Kincaid, I want him to be that character that when you read him in book 2, you see the difference from book 1. You see how when I said that he was that character that he's going to say what he say and do what he do, he's ultimately going to change a little bit within book 2, because it's going to be things that happen, and it's going to be a situation that he's going to go through that he can't be that hard demeanor person anymore. He's going to have to kind of tone it down some. Now, when he tones it down, who's going to pick up being the hardcore, stepping on everyone's toes, shoot 'em up, bang bang? Who's going to take up what he's doing? Now, that's the twist. That's going to be the twist of it that I can't give up. That right there is going to be the shocker. Like, there's going to be like I can't believe this and this and this happened, and that character took on that lifestyle. That's exactly how I want book 2 to happen. Now, will there be any returning characters from book 1? If you read the book, you already know what happens to the second main character. I'm not going to even give it the pronoun. I'm not going to even say the name. I just want you guys to read that. When you find out what happens to that character, obviously you already know, and it's just going to be that. But who's going to be coming back is the question. Who's going to be the returning character to stir up trouble in book 2? That's what I want everybody to be asking. Who is going to be that character that's going to be like, I can't believe she brought that person back? That's what it's going to be. Now, I know probably everyone, when they read the book, was like, I can't believe someone can go through that sad situation so young. Those things happen though. So that's exactly what I want to put in the book. So she already goes through that sadness and just that breakdown. But will Lotus actually get over that? Because through the whole book, she expresses how she was never over it. She never escaped those dark feelings of when it happened, why it happened. and will she ultimately get over that? When I write with my character's thoughts, like they're actually a real person. So when I made her go through that, I'm not gonna even lie. When I wrote that part, I cried in the prologue chapter. I cried because it felt so real, and that's what I want my readers to feel too. I want them to feel like, oh my God, I can't believe that's what Lotus or Dimitri, Kincaid, Reva, Angelique, I can't believe they went through that and they turned into a good person or they turned into a bad person, because you can only control your own life. You can't keep saying that, oh, my environment, my lifestyle is what changed me to be this person. You can't keep saying that and going through that. Now, I just want to say with Lotus, let's just say this. Now, this is going to blow your mind. Just going to blow your mind just a little bit. So when she went through that first part, yeah, Bijou, she said I cried in the prologue. Thank you. I mean, that's what I wanted. I don't want my readers to be sad, but that's what I wanted you to feel, because that was heartbreaking. She didn't have to go through that, but that's what I wanted the story to bestow upon. So, in the next chapter, basically, she tells what a little bit more detailed after that. Okay, she's older now, and she's wiser now, but she's still a totally different person, and she explains why she went through. She didn't listen to her mom after that too much. She was just broken. Her plans of going to college was over with. Her plans of being this intelligent and wealthy with a career that was going to skyrocket her, the scholarship and everything, that was just out the window for her. She just forgot about it because of the situation she went through. So she explains who Minkel is just a little bit. I don't give too much in that first chapter. I just give a little bit. She explained who she is and who she is to her. And the quote, like I said, the queen wants revenge. That's what she wanted. Lotus wanted revenge for what happened in the prologue. She just couldn't get over that. Who would get over that? I mean, you as the reader, honestly, would you get over that? I don't think you would. I mean, that's why I wrote that quote, for you to have that thought in your head. Would I really get over that? At such a young age, she was only 18. Would I really get over that? Am I strong enough to get over that? So that's the second part. A strong woman moves on. Obviously, Lotus was not strong enough to move on from that. She wasn't strong enough to move on. She was the one that wanted revenge. But a queen does it all. So obviously, in her breakdown through the breakthrough, she wants revenge. She moved on, but then again didn't move on. But she still wants to figure out how to have it all. We can't have it all. And that's exactly what Lotus will find out during the full book of book 1 and then book 2. Will they make it? That's what you have to find out for yourself. Will Kincaid, what is his position going to be to Lotus in the second book? Okay, I explained that, and I hope you understood what I meant by that in the book. But if you love Kincaid as much as I did, you're gonna root for him. You're gonna root that he does kind of move on from the life that he's in. Others would want him to stay within that life, because that's what the book is based off of. But what is the situation going to be that's really going to pull him out a little bit and actually want to get out of the life that he's in? That's what this whole book is about. And, I want to touch up on that. And I didn't want to give too much away in my book discussion, but I just want to touch up on my characters and how temptation is always on the line in the book. Love is always on the line. It's always going to be secrets. Secrets are always going to be in the dark, and they're going to surface. It's bound to happen. Betrayal is bound to happen. That's just facts. When you are around people, my characters, when they're around people and befriending them and thinking that it's all good because they're the power couple, it's really not. And that's ultimately what they put themselves through for this to happen. You'll see how much of a scorned woman Lotus really is. And you have to put it together. Was she already scorned from her past? Or was Dimitri the one that made her an angry black woman, a scorned black woman? So you'll see that a savage queen will be released. And she will be unleashed. She's going to be released, unleashed, ready to destroy everything in her path. Or everything she most loved. That's what you will find out in this first book. I love you guys. I'm glad you guys were here to listen to me discuss about this book. I may have another one coming up soon when I give away some prizes. I'm actually having a book contest, and it starts on the 28th of this month, so that's next week. Yeah, the book contest starts next week on Tuesday, and it ends at the end of September, so on the 28th. So the end of this month, and it begins at the end of this month, it ends at the end of September. So I hope you guys enter that contest. I have it posted on my Facebook page and my author group. And I hope you guys really love this book as much as I did. I really do. And I hope you guys enter that book contest because I'm going to be giving away some good prizes. But probably next week I might have another book contest when I do a little few games. And, we have a little bit more fun. But thank you guys. I love you. Love you so much. And just so you know, the book is on Amazon. It's available on paperback now. So you guys who haven't read it, you guys can get that. Love you guys. Peace.